7 seconds. That is the actual time between the moment your ego makes a stupid decision and the moment you are lying on pavement wondering what happened, not 7 minutes. Not that it all happened so fast. 7 measurable seconds where your brain says, I have got this, and physics says, no, you do not. I am breaking down the psychological traps that lead to crashes, not the ones that show up on police reports. Police reports say things like failure to negotiate curve or inattentive driving. I am talking about the real causes, the ego decisions that happen in your head before the bike ever goes down. The sound is what stays with you. That scraping, plastic and metal on asphalt. Then the heat through your jeans. Then the realization that you are still sliding, and there is nothing you can do to stop it. That is second 7. Second 1 was when you made a choice that felt completely reasonable. Every crash I'm talking about happened to a rider who thought this video was not for them. Here is the thing most riders will not admit. You are not crashing because you lack skill. You are crashing because your pride writes checks your ability cannot cash, and it happens faster than you think. The group ride scenario. You are rolling with 3 or 4 other riders. The rider up front is faster than you, not a little faster, a lot faster. He's pulling away in the curves while you are working hard just to keep him in sight. Here, the trap opens up. You do not want to be that rider, the one who holds up the group, the one they wait for at every stop. So, you make a decision. You are going to push harder, keep up, prove you belong. This trap is invisible because it feels like confidence. It feels like you are rising to the challenge. What it actually is stupidity with a throttle. The 7-second breakdown goes like this. Second 1, you spot the faster rider pulling away. Second 2, you make the decision to close the gap. Second 3, more throttle than usual. Second 4, entering the corner hot. Second 5, too hot. Second 6, you know it. Second 7, target fixation locks in and you are headed exactly where you do not want to go. What actually happens to your brain during this? Tunnel vision kicks in first. Your peripheral vision literally narrows. You're staring at that apex or that guardrail and nothing else exists. Then survival reactions take over. You grab too much brake or you freeze on the bars. Finally, target fixation completes the disaster. You go exactly where you're looking, which is usually into the thing you're trying to avoid. The crash report reads, failure to negotiate curve. But that is not what happened. What happened is, you let pride override judgment. You pushed past your skill level because you did not want to look slow. Here's the math nobody wants to hear. Professional racers push their limits on closed courses with runoff zones, air fences, and medical staff standing by. You are doing it on public roads with guardrails, ditches, and oncoming traffic. The consequences are not even in the same universe. I have watched this play out dozens of times. The rider thinks he is keeping up. The rider enters a corner at the edge of his ability. Something unexpected happens. A patch of gravel, a decreasing radius turn. It does not matter what it is. He has already used up all his margin for error just trying to match someone else's pace. You are not riding recklessly. You are just keeping up. You are just matching the pace. That is what you tell yourself. But here is the truth. The faster rider up front usually has no idea you are struggling. He is riding his ride, comfortable, within his limits. Meanwhile, you are out there redlining your skill set because your ego cannot handle being slower. Now let's talk about the ego that gets you killed at intersections. You are approaching a 4-way stop. There's a car to your right. You got there first. You have the right of way. The law is on your side. The car is slowing down. You can see the driver. You make eye contact. Everything looks good. So you commit to your line. You enter the intersection. And that is when the car does not stop. This is the right-of-way ego trap. The belief that being legally correct somehow protects you from physics. It does not. You did everything right. The law agrees with you. You arrived first. You have the right of way. Any reasonable person would expect that car to stop. And that is exactly the thinking that gets you killed. Here's the 7-second sequence. Second 1, you approach the intersection. Second 2, you see the car slowing. Seconds 3 and 4, you assume they are stopping because they have to. Second 5, you commit to crossing. Second 6, you realize they are not stopping. Second 7, you are trying to swerve or brake, but it is too late. You are already in their path. The brutal physics here are simple. Even if you are legally right, you are medically wrong. The car weighs 4,000 pounds. Your bike weighs 500 pounds. You weigh maybe 200 pounds in full gear. The math does not care about traffic laws. What makes this trap so dangerous is the doubling down. Your ego sees that you have the right of way. The bike is in the right. So your brain demands the car yield. You are not going to back down. You are not going to be the one who gives up your legal position. I have seen the aftermath of this thinking. The crash report says, failure to yield, and lists the car driver as at fault. Technically correct. But you know what else the report says? Fatal injury to motorcyclist. Your family gets a settlement check and a closed casket. The insurance company does not care about your ego. The emergency room does not care that you had the right of way. The actuarial tables just show another statistic. Motorcycle versus car at intersection. Rider loses. Here is what experienced riders actually do. They assume every car is going to pull out. They assume every driver is blind, distracted, or actively trying to kill them. They cover their brakes at every intersection. They make eye contact and still do not trust it. They give up the right of way because being alive matters more than being right. The ego says he has to stop. The brain that wants to survive says, I am going to assume he will not and plan accordingly. One of those approaches gets you home. The other gets you a police report with your name on it. Let us talk about the most dangerous phrase in motorcycling. I have been riding for 20 years. No, you have not. You have been commuting for 20 years. You have been riding to work and back on the same roads, at the same speeds, in the same conditions. That is not 20 years of experience. That is 1 year of experience repeated 20 times. This trap is dangerous because the confidence feels earned. You have not crashed. You have logged thousands of miles. You know your bike. You know your routes. So when something unexpected happens, your brain genuinely believes you have this handled. The 7-second reality check goes like this. Second 1, an unexpected obstacle appears. It could be a car pulling out. It could be debris in your lane. It could be an animal. Second 2, your brain says you have this. Seconds 3 and 4, your hands do what they have always done. You grab too much front brake or you freeze completely. Second 5, the bike starts to go down. Seconds 6 and 7, you are sliding and you have no idea what just happened. Here is the difference between muscle memory and panic memory. Muscle memory is what you build through deliberate practice. Emergency braking drills, swerve exercises, pushing your limits in controlled environments. Panic memory is what kicks in when you're surprised. If you have never practiced the right response, panic memory defaults to whatever your hands do naturally, which is usually wrong. What mechanics and riding instructors see all the time are riders who have been on 2 wheels for decades and who have never practiced emergency braking, never done a proper swerve drill, never pushed their actual limits to find out where the edge really is. They have been comfortable for so long, they think comfortable equals skilled. It does not. The crash report says inattentive driving or loss of control. What it should say is rider had 20 years of commuting experience and 0 emergency training. You were attentive. You just did not know what to do when attention was not enough. Here's the contrast nobody wants to face. You think you can threshold brake because you have never locked the front wheel. What you actually do when something jumps out is grab a fistful of brake and hope. You think you can swerve around obstacles because you change lanes smoothly every day. What you actually do in a panic is target fixate and ride straight into the thing you are trying to avoid. The real experts practice. They take advanced courses. They spend time in parking lots doing the boring drills. They know exactly how hard they can brake before the front wheel locks. They have practiced swerving until it is automatic. They have deliberately scared themselves in safe environments so they know what panic feels like and how to work through it. Your commute did not teach you that. Your commute taught you how to be comfortable. And comfortable kills you the second something uncomfortable happens. The quick run mentality. You tell yourself, I'm just going to the store. It's only 2 miles. The weather is perfect. So you skip the jacket, maybe skip the gloves, definitely skip the boots because you are wearing sneakers, and it is not worth changing. This trap kills because the ego tells you crashes happen to other people. Crashes happen on long rides. Crashes happen in bad weather or on unfamiliar roads. Crashes do not happen on a sunny Tuesday afternoon when you're running to pick up milk. Except they do. Most crashes happen within 5 miles of home. Most crashes happen in good weather. Most crashes happen on roads you ride every day. The statistics are clear, but your ego is not interested in statistics. Here is the 7-second truth. Second one, you are riding along in your t-shirt and jeans. Seconds 2 and 3, something happens. A car pulls out, or an oil patch. It does not matter. Seconds 4 and 5, you are going down. Second 6, you hit pavement. The sound is immediate, that grinding. Second 7, you are sliding. The heat comes through the denim. Then the burn. Then you feel the asphalt directly on your skin because the fabric is gone. In that 1 second of sliding, denim goes through. In 3 seconds, you are down to bone. The severity of injury correlates directly to what you are wearing, not how far you are going, not how experienced you are, not how careful you are being. What you wear when you hit the ground determines whether you walk away or whether they are calling an ambulance. I have seen the crash reports, fatality, or severe injury with a note that says the rider was wearing inadequate protective equipment. Plain language, they made a decision to skip gear because it was inconvenient. That decision cost them skin, bone, or life. The math is simple. Asphalt does not care about your schedule. Road rash does not care that you were only going 2 miles. Broken bones do not care that the sun was shining and you felt invincible. The pavement takes what it takes based on physics, not intentions. The long trip scenario. You have been riding for 6 hours, maybe 8. You are exhausted. Your back hurts. Your hands are numb. Your concentration is shot. But you are only 90 miles from home. You have come this far. You can push through. This is the sunken cost trap. You have already invested the time. You have already ridden the miles. Your brain refuses to waste that investment by stopping now, so you keep going when you should not. This trap is insidious because it builds slowly. Hour 1, you are fine. Hour 3, you are getting tired but manageable. Hour 5, you are fighting to stay focused. Hour 7, you are running on fumes and pride. And that is when it happens. The 7-second collapse goes like this. Second one, fatigue-induced microsleep. You're not even aware it happened. Seconds 2 and 3, the bike drifts toward the shoulder. Second 4, you snap awake and overcorrect. Seconds 5 through 7, you are fighting for control and losing. What fatigue actually does to you. Reaction time doubles. A response that normally takes half a second now takes a full second. Decision-making deteriorates. You make choices you would never make when fresh. Risk assessment disappears completely. Things that would normally trigger caution do not even register as dangerous. The ego's lie is, I can push through. You have done it before. You are tough. You are experienced. You know your limits. The body's truth is simpler. No, you really cannot. Your brain is shutting down whether you want it to or not. Microsleeps are not optional. They are your nervous system forcing rest because you will not do it voluntarily. What the crash report says is unknown cause or driver fatigue. What it means is you chose your schedule over your survival. You decided that getting home tonight mattered more than getting home alive. You let the sunk cost of the miles you had already ridden push you into riding miles you should not. The math here is brutal. A hotel room costs $100. A funeral costs $10,000. Those 90 miles you were determined to finish are still going to be there tomorrow, but you might not be. 7 seconds. That's all it takes. The first second is when you make a choice that feels reasonable. Keeping up with faster riders, standing your ground at an intersection, skipping gear for a short trip, pushing through when you're exhausted. The 7th second is when you're on the ground wondering what happened. The math is simple. Your ego writes the check. Physics cashes it. You pay with skin, bone, or worse. Which of these traps have you caught yourself in? Drop a comment and let me know. Hit subscribe so we can keep building a smarter, safer riding community together.